What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants. No hate. It's a beautiful morning. About to go do this 7-mile run in the cold. Yes, in the cold. The key is to be able to do it and not have to stop, so your body temperature does not drop. It's 17 degrees outside. So I have a mask. Oh, actually, yeah, nice, man, because it doesn't touch my face. It just goes around and come up here. And it's I love it. I've never seen it. It was a gift. It was a gift. I don't know where the hell this person got it from, but I love it. And it doesn't affect your breathing, So anyways, listen, let me address some things. I addressed these things, some, made mentions of it in one of my last videos. How I'm not always making content the way I would like to make boxing content, because there's not a hell of a lot of boxing news going on. It's just talking about who's ducking who, and who said what, and who's talking about whose mom, and who, all this nonsense. One thing I want to talk about, well, I'll get into that later. Okay, let me, for starters, see, and this is what I'm saying. Yeah, I get it. I'm involved in other content, different things, and the same thing. Yo, you heard what Alycia Baumgardner said about Claressa Shields and her entanglement? And I'm like, see, let me stop you. That's exactly my point. We're not going to do that. I don't give a fuck what Alycia Baumgardner said about Claressa Shields. I don't give a fuck about what Shields say about Baumgardner. I don't care about the he said, she said stuff. See, the women talk about ladies boxing and women's boxing doing this and that, and women's boxing going in the right direction. No, the women are doing the same shit that the men do. And the problem with all of this is real simple. See, boxing has become this entertainment bullshit. And this bullshit of entertainment. This is what it's become. So my thing is, I don't give a fuck about nothing Alycia Baumgardner has to say when it comes to Shields, other than she's going to 154 to fight her. Pretty much, for anybody that says this, I want to fight Claressa Shields. If you're not willing to go to 154, shut the fuck up. Because basically, all you're doing is trying to fucking use her name for clout. And of course, your little fanboys, your little boy fanboys are gonna, the real GWOAT is Serrano, and the real GWOAT is Katie Taylor, and the real GWOAT is, I know, everybody that Claressa Shields would beat the shit out of if they did fight, and everybody you're gonna make the excuse of being too small for, okay, after she beats them. And let me say this, for Shields to start out at 154 pounds and go all the way up to heavyweight, she's not a heavyweight in the ring, okay, but she walks around 173 pounds. The limit, the weight limit is 175, okay? Well, the weight itself is not, bottom line, it's not the weight limit. The weight is 175, okay, for the women. When she fought against Savannah Marshall, she rehydrated up to 173, which is what she walk around as. Savannah Marshall was 193. That's still a big weight difference. But the whole point is she went up 3 weight divisions, from 154 to 175 in her last fight, okay? Well, if Alycia Baumgardner was to go to 154, that's exactly how many weight classes that she'd be going up. So here's the thing. For Claressa Shields to fight at 175 pounds, fine. Then all that means is she didn't have to burn weight off. And she basically is at full strength because that's her walk-around weight. Well, the same thing should apply to Alycia Baumgardner. So if you're fighting at 154, well, guess what? You walk around 150 plus pounds. So what's the problem? So she went up 3 weight classes, which means now she could be coming back down. Okay? 3 weight classes. You just be going up. So unless you want that smoke, it's best to not say anything. And as far as her saying anything about her being, Shields being in some entanglement. This just goes to show you what I'm saying. For one, and this is just the facts, man. This is not, taking shots at Alicia Baumgardner. She's a talented fighter, but at the same time, she don't have shit going on. She talk about options. All I keep hearing is options. Where's the Serrano fight? Where's the Katie Taylor fight? Where are these fights? Why is it always some weird-ass stipulation? If they want this fight, then this has to happen and that. Well, at the same time, she's the B-side and everybody that I just named. But at the same fucking time, right? You're more focused on talking about Claressa Shields' entanglement. Didn't Adrian Broner, some months ago sit up and talk about all the fighters that went through you, that ran through you, that had sex with you, that whored you out? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is all the fuck fighters want to do now, is talk shit about everybody else. And what happened? Adrian did all that talk, but he went there against Blair Cobb and got the shit beat out of him because he's washed up and past his prime, yet his fans had him gassed up and he was gassed up. Alicia Baumgardner basically sat there and talked about you can't argue with broke people and all this other shit. And now for her to take a dig at Claressa, it's like, okay, but you're not willing to go to 154. You want to talk shit and try to use her name to get clout. That's all this is. All this bullshit with Claressa and Papoose and Remy, who gives a fuck? This shit going on with Floyd Mayweather, who gives a fuck, man? Like, that's not boxing news. That's news about a boxer. This is shit that has nothing to do with boxing. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, see, this is exactly what people expect. So I know you're going to get into that. No, I'm not going to get into that on my channel. No, because I have no interest in that bullshit. See, you got to understand the approach between all these parties involved. Shields is not calling out these smaller women. She's not talking about, I want to fight a 135-pounder. I want to... No, it's the other way around. Oh, I totally fight Shields. So bring your ass to 154. It's so funny how if any one of these fighters, if Alicia Baumgardner fights Katie Taylor, if she fights Amanda Serrano, she clearly understands she's the B-side. If Mikaela Mayer fights Katie Taylor, she said out of her own mouth that she wants to fight her with, hey, you're the biggest star, it's your call, right? Okay, if she fights Serrano, she knows she's the B-side. It's funny to me how these motherfuckers are clearly the B-side against Claressa Shields. But at the same time, they want to be able to call a stipulation and say, well, this is it or no fight. Shields don't need you little motherfuckers. Y'all don't want to fight Claressa Shields. Y'all can talk all the shit you want. The funny thing is this, right? Every time Mikaela Mayer loses, she starts fucking crying about being robbed. Every fucking fight that she lost, I was robbed. Talked about how she don't want to come to the UK to fight anymore because, she gets robbed when she goes to the UK, blah, blah, blah. Right? Now, at the end of the fucking day, let's just look at this. You have to create your own lane because you can't wait for fighters. But when a motherfucker is clearly saying, come to 154, we can make this happen. And then all of a sudden, you start talking about fighting 5 and 6 other fighters. Man, make up your mind. This is one thing I'm going to say about Mikaela Mayer and Alicia Baumgardner. Both of them talk like they have so many options. Mikaela Mayer was fortunate enough to have a fight at 140 pounds and win a title. But this motherfucker, like, they sit up here, her and Baumgardner always with this back and forth banter, but like, where is the fucking contracts? When are you motherfuckers gonna actually fight? When? Because I can tell you right now, I don't care how many belts Alicia Baumgardner has. I don't give a fuck how many belts Mikaela Mayer have. They are not the A side against nobody that I just fucking named. But then, you got people. I remember when people was hyping up Melanie Bridges, Ebony Bridges, and I'm like, yeah, she's decent. I wasn't crazy about Ebony Bridges in the ring. I thought she was decent, right? But you never heard me say, I don't think Ebony Bridges should fight this one or that one. I wanted to see her and Ramla Ali fight. That's the fight I wanted to see in that division. Ramla Ali, she lost, then she got a win. And one of the biggest injustices in boxing right now with women's boxing. The same way how in men's boxing, the flyweights, the strawweights, the bantamweights, these little guys don't get any real recognition. They really don't. It's just nobody really cares to see these little tiny guys fight. And female boxing is the same thing with the smaller divisions. You don't really know these people too well. So Ebony Bridges wound up getting really beat up. The last fight I saw her have, against the Asian chick, and she got beat up, and the chick took the fight on. She had fought a week before, and she went in there and she really beat Ebony Bridges' ass. Now, a fight between Ebony Bridges and Muhammad Ali is not something that anybody's even talking about. So I don't know if Ebony Bridges fought again since then. I can go look it up, but I don't know what the situation is, but it's a fight that nobody's talking about. And that, to me, was the fight to make in that weight class. Now, on the other hand, you got a fighter like Sky Nicholson, who clearly wants to fight against, Amanda Serrano. She clearly wants to fight against the best fighters out there. Oh, she need to sit down. And here y'all go with this bullshit. But then when somebody calls someone's name, and they have an agenda because they're saying someone's name, but they're not willing to make the weight to fight that person, it's bullshit. And even to be childish, this childlike logic, Clarissa, be a woman of your word. You said 147. Like, yeah, you're holding on to that shit. You're holding on to that shit because you know what? You don't have the heart to fight at 154. You want Clarissa to be as weak as possible. Everybody knows what the fuck you're trying to do, and it's bullshit. So I don't give a fuck if you are Katie Taylor. I don't care if you are Amanda Serrano. Now, Katie, I haven't heard with my 2 ears hear her talking these shit about Shields, saying she want to fight Shields or whatever. I don't see why her or Amanda Serrano would have a death wish like that anyway, or Baumgartner. But if you're going to call someone's name, then fight them. Amanda Serrano knows it's disrespectful for her to start calling herself the GOAT. They know that shit. It's like I said. It's like I have, my channel is called, Aries Zodiac Boxing. Now, if another Aries came out, now if your shit, when you trademark your shit, that's something different. They're like, nah, you can't use that name. It's already taken. But let's say somebody came out and put like Aries Zodiac Boxing 2.0. Unless this motherfucker, very first video was, hey man, I want to send a shout out and a salute to Aries Zodiac Boxing. That motherfucker better not say nothing. Nothing on his or her channel trying to act like they never saw AZB before, because motherfucker, you steal somebody's name, you steal somebody, and then gonna use that shit, like that would be, oh, fuck that, I'm gonna jack him for his name, but I'm gonna add the 2.0 to it so they don't tell me I can't use it. Yeah, that's all that would be. So for someone to, oh, I'm the real GOAT, then she goes, it's just a term. Bitch, Clarissa Shields is the one that made that term up, just like Cool J coined that phrase, the GOAT. I mean, the GOAT. Made an album name to call that shit. And people didn't even realize for decades, for years, that's where that shit came from. Cool J is the one who coined that phrase. Not the greatest of all time, but the acronym, okay? Motherfucker, greatest of all time. So he just straight out, I'm the GOAT. Right? Remember that song? I'm the GOAT. Greatest of all times. I'm the GOAT. Greatest of air. People didn't even know where that shit came from. So when people are saying that, he could trademark that shit. He really could have. So when she goes, I'm the GOAT, now she's the greatest woman of all time. And for someone to try to jack her for that shit, man, sit your little ass down, because this is my point. You're doing what you're doing in your division. But see, saying that, you think Amanda Serrano didn't know her saying that was going to spark controversy? You think she didn't know people are going to start talking about it? They're going to start comparing. And yeah, she knew what she was doing. And they know that if they're being mentioned in the same fucking breath as Clarissa Shields, they're going to get notoriety. Her movie's about to come out. And when her movie comes out, she has a fight coming up, Clarissa Shields. And when her movie does come out, let me put it to you like this. Being that there's very little camaraderie in much of anything now, everybody want to be superior to the other person. to the point where even when they're not competing with anything, people just don't like to see someone else shine. People try to say, oh, that's Shields, she don't want to see nobody else shine. Like, first of all, what fucking fighter do you know that says somebody else is better than them? But then two, let's understand this. Let's make a clear understanding of this. If you listen to what is being said as far as Claressa Shields responding to people, that's the part right there that people purposely overlook. She's not coming out on interviews bringing up Alicia Baumgardner or Katie Taylor or Amanda Serrano and saying negative things about them. It's always the interviewer. I pointed that shit out way back when her and Savannah Marshall kept going back and forth. And I'm like, yo, y'all both need to stop falling for this dumb shit. If an interviewer sit here, let me put it to you like this. If a motherfucker said, Aries, did you hear what Dante's Boxing Nation said about you? I'm gonna say I don't give a fuck what he said about me, because he knows how to contact me if he want to say something to me. If he want to fucking throw hands, we can throw fucking hands. And until he's ready to fucking do that and take this ass whooping, because I wish a motherfucker would call me out. There's no reason for me to even respond to bullshit. That's how men carry on. I can sit here and call every kind of bitch-made motherfucker in the book, but what does that do? Unless you're willing to take this ass whooping, come say that shit to my fucking face. Don't be a keyboard warrior. Come say that shit to my fucking face. Till then, we have nothing to talk about. Because you see what starts happening? The same way, what he'll do is, he'll interview Dante, then he'll come to me and tell me what Dante said. Then he'll go and talk to Dante and say what I said. I don't need you motherfuckers to talk for me. I'll tell Dante or anybody else to their fucking face what I have to say. Plain and simple. And if I really want to piss you off, I'll make some shit up and say that I said that I didn't say, just to make you even madder. What? What are we going to do? What? Instead of sitting here going, yeah, well, I watched the video of him and he said, and she said, and this and that. And man, you're doing all of this, and what's supposed to happen after that? Nothing's going to happen. Nothing. They're not going to do shit but talk shit. And the fact that Alicia Baumgardner, I didn't even watch the fucking video. I don't care to watch the video. But I was asked about it. And for Alicia Baumgardner to resort to referencing entanglement, well, first of all, let's be real. Adrian Broner is the one that said everybody ran through you. Yeah. So you're going to go at Adrian Broner? Now, when somebody starts to step up and talk about you being a hoe, and different people start, kicking dirt on your name, the first thing she's going to do is get in front of a camera, talk about her struggles, cry, and talk about how people are haters and they just don't want to see people succeed. Well, is that the space you're coming from when you say shit like this? And you should know, when people are talking to you and they bring somebody's name up, these people want a story. They want an exclusive story. They want to be the first ones to print a story and say what you said. And then whoever does it second, third, fourth, fifth, or whatever, it doesn't matter. But everybody wants a story. And let's just be real. What does Alicia Baumgardner have going on right the fuck now? She came back against Delphine Persoon. That fight ended, due to a bad cut. And all I'm seeing, and let's not forget, what did Alicia Baumgardner say in her interview before that fight? I have to reintroduce, Alicia Baumgardner so people know who I am. Shields don't have that problem. Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano don't have that problem. So, I'm saying, why do you feel that that you have to do that? Why are you in that position? Huh? If you didn't pop dirty for fucking steroids or whatever, right, you wouldn't be in that position now, would you? So you see the point what I'm saying? All I ever hear, big things are coming for sure, just, the best is yet to come, but you can't pinpoint anything. So if your life was that important to these fucking people, to these spectators, of you'd be able to say what's going on, they'd be able to say what's going on, and we know who your next opponent's going to be. See, this is why, and it makes me laugh, man, because, see, For me, I'm big on respect, and I believe in, like, when I see, people put on in front of the cameras. I can't say who's who. You know, I know a lot of people go into fucking, character mode when that camera goes on. Let me say this. I at least like when people are respectful and down to earth. That always gets me with the person as far as I can respect your character. I don't like arrogant people. Yeah, I just don't like arrogant people. And I don't give a fuck about arrogant people. I just don't like when people are, I'm not talking about confident. I'm not talking about supremely confident. I'm talking about people like when you think you're better than someone because you have more money, more cars, a bigger house, or shit like that, or or you just think that your shit don't stink, or you just think you can say whatever you want, but people can't say it back to you. And the picture that people try to paint for Shields in terms of like what she says, like she's supposed to, well, you're right, Amanda Serrano's better than me. Well, you're right, Katie Taylor's better than me. Yeah, you're right, Savannah Marshall's better than me. Like, are you fucking insane? Are you fucking insane? And like I said, we already know how that's gonna go if these fights gonna happen. After Shields spanked the fuck out these women, well, they was daring to be great, they went up. No. I don't want to hear that they were daring to be great shit. You say Amanda Serrano is the greatest women's boxer of all time, which means she should have no problem beating Shields. She should have no fucking problem beating Savannah Marshall. And why am I saying that? Because here's the deal. If you can make a certain weight and meet up, and you don't do it, then shut the fuck up then. Okay? No, I don't think Floyd Mayweather would beat Mike Tyson in a fight. Of course not. No, I don't think Sugar Ray Leonard would beat Muhammad. Of course not. We're talking pound for pound. But imagine if motherfucking Sugar Ray Leonard said, nah, Ali's not the greatest of all time. I am. Right? Now imagine him saying that. And Ali is active on the same roster, right? Now, physically, we know he's too small. Ali's not going to worry about what Sugar Ray Leonard has to say. But if Sugar Ray Leonard was to say, Ali, since you saying you the greatest of all time, I challenge you to a fight. We know Ali once fought at, light heavyweight? Okay. So if Muhammad Ali is saying, fuck it, meet me at light heavyweight, and Ray Leonard is going, nah, meet me at middleweight, that makes Ray Leonard a bitch. Why? Because Ali cannot in a healthy manner, make 160 pounds. You know he can't. So what you're trying to do is drain him. Do you understand what I'm saying? So just making the claim saying you're the best pound for pound, okay, cool. That's why they have a pound for pound list. I don't give a fuck about it personally. I don't give a fuck about the greatest of all time list or whatever. But what I'm saying is you guys that try to pretend you don't realize when someone's taking a shot at someone and their fan base is going to do nothing but cause your favorite fighter to get their ass whooped if they ever get the heart to do what they say. Man, Serrano's never going to fight no fucking Shields. Okay? Katie Taylor's not going to fight Shields. And you know the thing about it? Alicia Baumgardner may never get the chance to fight Shields, Serrano or Katie Taylor. And see, this is the thing I like about Ebony Bridges. But see, this generation, y'all like big mouth motherfuckers. Y'all like people that talk shit and can't back it the fuck up. That's one of the things I respect about Ebony Bridges. So let me explain something to you. If Ebony Bridges went in there and fought Amanda Serrano and lost, so fucking what? She is a solid fighter. She holds a belt at 126. Amanda Serrano is holding up the fucking division. What's your excuse for not fighting against Ebony Bridges? And you want to know the bullshit, lame, go-to excuse I'm sick of hearing from people? Because she's low risk, she's high risk, low reward. How the fuck is she high risk, low reward, and she has a fucking belt? How the fuck? So at the end of the day, it's like now what we've done with this popularity bullshit, and people don't understand the damage that's been done to boxing is, see, unless you're popular, then why should that person fight that person? Yeah. Then when they get their ass whooped by someone, what's the first thing y'all call it? An upset. No, this motherfucker been that good. You just didn't fucking acknowledge it. So my thing is, and I'm just gonna say this shit again, I don't think Amanda Serrano inside like, oh, I'm scared of Ebony Bridges. But I strongly believe, because she'd have to be stupid not to. See, the fighter can't be as dumb as the fucking fans. I bet you Amanda Serrano knows. Sky Nicholson, not Ebony Bridges, my bad. Sky Nicholson. She knows Sky Nicholson is a fucking threat. She's a fucking problem. Otherwise, why in the fuck would you fight a lesser opponent and then give that lesser opponent props? And then as far as her versus Katie Taylor, I don't give a fuck about no third fight between these two motherfuckers, man. I don't give a fuck about them fighting a third time. Look, let's look at this. If you don't like Sky Nicholson, all she does is run, which is bullshit, which is fucking bullshit. She don't run. But if you don't like Sky Nicholson's style or whatever, or you're just angry because she wants to fight, it's like she wants to fight the best fighters. You motherfuckers act the same way. It's like her wanting to fight Amanda Serrano. Amanda Serrano fans act just like Terrence Crawford fans because Boots wants to fight him. It's the same stupid fucking, oh man, well, she needs to sit down. She's not ready. Hey, listen. Can I guarantee you that Sky Nicholson is going to beat Serrano? Nope. Can you guarantee yourself that? No, you can tell yourself what the fuck you want. But the reality is, okay, fights need to happen. If Sky Nicholson and Amanda Serrano fight, I'm going with Sky. I believe Sky Nicholson beats Amanda Serrano. And I'm going with her for the win. Should she lose, so fucking what? So what? Just like you motherfuckers never called Katie Taylor a dirty fighter until Amanda Serrano and her coach called her a dirty fighter. Now all of a sudden she's a dirty fighter, blah, 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 blah. Right. Now, she drops back down to 126 and defend her titles, or either let the fucking belts go. What are you going to say? That Sky Nicholson ducked her? Sky Nicholson is not the one that doesn't want to fight. Like I told you last time, I clearly was watching an interview with Amanda Serrano, and the interviewer, I forget the lady's name that she fought, but I remember the interviewer says, well, what do you say to fans that would say, people that would say, well, why would you fight such a underachieving, like, unaccomplished opponent? And Amanda Serrano's response was, hey, look, she called my name, she wanted to fight. Hey, let's go. You want it? Let's go. Let's go. That was her response. Moments later, so, I mean, Sky Nicholson has been very adamant about fighting you at, for unification, for undisputed at 126. So, why haven't that fight happened? Hey, look, I'm not a promoter. It's up to my team. I fight whoever they want me to fight. A completely different answer when Sky Nicholson's name came up. See, fans are, look, let's just say it like this. You guys don't want to admit your flaws, but like fans are pretty stupid because fans live in La La Land, okay? Most of their fucking opinions are biased and fantasy. You think that you can predict a fight because in your head, you try to play it out like it's a movie scene. But when you look at skill for skill and who does what, that's what I go by. I don't go by what the fuck everybody else is saying. I go by what the fuck I see. And I feel in my heart that Sky Nicholson, okay, Amanda Serrano herself and her team both know her style is custom made for someone like Sky. And you see what happens? This is something that you guys don't pay attention to. You've never seen Amanda Serrano cut off a ring and wear down a top-level female fighter. Amanda Serrano walks into punches. She has no head movement whatsoever. She's there to be hit. She is, like I said, it's like she's one of those, like her and Katie Taylor remind me so much of Arturo Gatti versus Mickey Ward. Against each other, fireworks. The difference is the female divisions aren't that deep where they have female fighters that's just that talented where somebody can go do what Ray Leonard did to Durant in a rematch. Go do what Floyd Mayweather did to Arturo Gatti. That type of shit. So looking for like who's out there, yeah, that shit is working for them now. And I think technically Katie Taylor is better than Amanda Serrano, but stylistically, her style bothers Katie where, Katie is like in and out and she's trying to land her shots by ducking her head down. And, women like to push their punches. They fight like Rock'em Sock'em robots and shit. And when I see that shit, it's like, I don't see Sky Nicholson do that. Now, the flaws that I see Sky Nicholson make, like one, she like to plant her feet and throw that looping left hook, which is so fucking dangerous. Unless you have a snapping left hook, I wouldn't suggest that shit again, especially against a big puncher. But she does that sometime, and when she does it, her chin is wide open. Also, when she throws more than one punch, she has a tendency she'll throw the shot, she'll lean in, and she'll drop her hands. She's confident, but she'll throw one punch, and then she'll lean back, and then she'll do the same thing with the jab. She'll paw with it, or she'll, when she's counterpunching. To me, when she's going forward, to me, Sky is more effective as a counterpuncher. She can mix it up, though. Okay. If her team is making sure that she's sharp, that's all. Just don't give Serrano no shots that she don't give her shots. Don't go in there and be careless. Be comfortable, but be defensively sound. Snap that jab. Snap your left hook. Don't sling it. Okay? Don't snap that shit. Okay? Remember how AJ was pawing with his jab and looking unsure when he fought Usyk? And then we saw him do the same thing after he fought stupidly against Dubois, but the same shit. But notice how he was snapping his jab against Wallin. How he was snapping all of his punches against Wallin. He was snapping his shots against Ngannou. That type of shit. Because that's when you go in there and get clipped. Sky Nicholson doesn't have any fucking shortage of confidence or whatever. And once again, I'm telling you, they know Sky Nicholson is a threat. You don't just switch up. Come on. And this was the same interview. So, you understand what I mean? This was the same interview. She called my name. She won it, so let's go. Okay. Sky Nicholson called your name. Why didn't you say, hey, fuck, Sky can get it too. Hey, look, I want to fight. Nope. That's up to my managers. I'm not a promoter. Whoever they want me to fight, I fight. Yeah. Because that's a fight she don't want. And y'all can try to, chop it up to however you want. But Amanda doesn't want that fight. She doesn't want that fight with Sky Nicholson. Her team doesn't want that fight with Sky Nicholson. And, you can't sit here, like I said, and talk about high risk, low reward, and then you go fight a lesser opponent. And we don't know what's going to be next. I don't care for a third fight between... Listen, let me tell you guys something. I enjoy things. There's a word called overkill. What does a third fight do? Well, maybe Amanda Serrano might win, then they'll have a draw, or, she beat her, and then she beat her. Yeah, you're hoping all this happens, but is that necessary when there's other viable opponents out there? And this is where boxing has become so stagnant and so stale. I'm going to tell you something. I love boxing, but one fighting championships is like a breath of fresh air, man. I love what they got going on over there. I like what the PFL is doing, but I love one fighting championships, man. I like what the UFC is doing, but let me tell you something. I like to see people go in there and fight, and I like to see people go in there and fight with purpose. I do not respect when fighters are all about the paycheck and clearly play stupid. Okay? Like they don't know who the tough fighters are. They don't know who the top opponents are. They want to play stupid because they don't want a certain fight. And basically, if I lose that fight, it's going to stop me from getting that bigger bag over here. But instead of being honest and saying that shit, I would have no problem saying, nah, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to knock Deontay Wilder the fuck out, then I'm going to go knock out AJ. Yeah, I know AJ's the bigger fight. You understand what I'm saying? I know he's the bigger fight. But you know what? The promoters over here are offering me more money to fight Wilder. Just saying, if that was, yeah, I'm going to go knock Wilder out first. Then AJ, I'm going to fuck you up next. Don't get it twisted. Nobody's running. I don't give a fuck what you fucking keyboard warriors typing. Oh, Aries ducking AJ because he's fighting Wilder because he know he can beat Wilder. If they're offering me $35 million to fight Wilder, and they'll offer me $15 million to fight AJ. Man, fuck each and every one of you. You hypocrites. You'd be stupid to not go get that $35 million first. Win, lose, or draw, and I'm not going to lose. Bottom line, I'm not concerned about losing. Then I'm going to go over here and knock AJ out. I'm fighting for legacy and money. Yeah. And then after AJ, who's next? That's look, this is what people fail to understand. This shit is a business. Okay? This is a business. So when I was telling you dummies a long time ago, you better understand both sides of the coin, like Larry Holmes did, like Mayweather did. Okay? You better understand both sides of the coin. This is how you don't get duped. Lack of knowledge, education, and understanding is why people get fucked in life. Because they're quick to jump into something without thinking. That's why the fucking promoters go, you make sure you train and do what you do. You and your managers and all, whatever. I drop by, we, get together, and they watch and see what's going on, but you focus on what you have to focus on. Now, either you're going to have a legit promoter or a crooked one. As simple as that. If the motherfucker straight up sometime and crooked other times, then he's still crooked. Now, my thing is not about who I like or don't like. I like Sky Nicholson as a fighter, man, and like she's like, I don't really have this favorite fighter thing, man, because like I said, when they lose, I don't give a fuck. That's the reason I say I don't have a favorite, because like I like the Las Vegas Raiders in football, but if they lose, I'm not crying about it. I'm not walking around sad, As fighters, I love Claressa Shields. I love Sky Nicholson as fighters. I like Alicia Baumgarten as a fighter. As a fighter, she can fight, but that bullshit mentality she has, and I know when somebody's clout chasing, and that's all the fuck she's doing. That's all she's doing. Why is she so concerned about whatever the fuck Shields is doing? Why does she even go to Shields fights? Why? I don't want to hear, it's for the undercard. No, why are you even going to Shields fights? Use her name, but you won't go to 154. That's cowardly. I respect her talents, but that's cowardly. Okay, I love Ramla Ali as a fighter. Okay, I don't know them personally. I love those three women as fighters. But, I look, I respect Katie Taylor as a fighter. I respect Amanda Serrano as a fighter. But I'm going to tell you this. Savannah Marshall as a fighter. But I'm going to tell you this. When you are in a position to constantly fight against haters, whether it's the fighter, their bullshit fan base, people within the sport itself, that a lot of times can be all the motivation you need, because people want to see you lose. Once you get comfortable and start, you know what, I want to fight you, but only if we going 10 rounds. I don't want to do 12 rounds. I'll fight you, but only if you come down, 4 or 5 weight classes so your weight drain. These people don't really want to fight. So I don't give a fuck how many times Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor fight each other, right? And it turns out to be a great fight, a great war. You guys will always overlook their flaws and understand the reason why they're getting hit so much is not because of pinpoint accuracy. It's because these motherfuckers don't use defense. Amanda Serrano more so than Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor tries to use her defense on the outside, but like I said, once she engages, it's just the same shit over and over. And Serrano's style just bothers her, where Serrano is able to get the best of it. Because like I said, Serrano definitely outlanded her by far. I put the punch stats up and everything in my community section. But you can't just go by that. That's like example, right? Now, the word that I got, and I didn't make a video about it because I don't know that it's actually official, and it could be. But the word that I got was that Joseph Parker is supposed to be fighting Daniel Dubois. What if Joseph Parker beats Dubois? Like, people right now may be saying, he's going to beat Parker because he beat AJ. You don't know that. You don't know that. He might beat Parker, but Parker also might go in there and beat Dubois. Then what? So you can't build shit off of that. And when you look at a fighter's hunger, you look at a fighter's consistency, you look at a fighter, like you see the changes in them, and you see the necessary changes in them, that is what I look for. Not just me getting a gut feeling, thinking, just eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Well, I'm going to go with this one this time, but don't have a reason. You still know, regardless of your reason, you still don't know what's going to happen come fight night. But my thing is, I respect fighters that want that smoke. You guys that you just care about shit talking and imagining the way a fight's going to go, you guys are on some other shit, man. I personally respect when a fighter says, hey, you know what, man? I want to fight nothing but the best fighters. We want this money to be right. Listen, and this is what I'd be doing. Like right now, for example, let's say if I fought Deontay Wilder, I'd say, Deontay, listen, you have lost, 2 back-to-back fights. They're trying to get you back in. I'm trying to get a fight that people want to see. Well, we're not going to make up no fake shit. We're not going to go back and forth like two bitches on no fucking social media. I don't do that goofy shit. But we need to package, get the right video packages put up. We need for you to build a redemption story. I need to build a story of having the ability to beat anyone but not known to the world. And we need to have this shit done right. Now, if I sit here and call you a bum-ass fighter, you lost your last 2 fights, right? And I fucking say all the shit about you that you've done. Now, your fan base is going to support you. But overall, they're going to look and say, damn, Aries is telling the truth, though. Yeah, he made excuses when he lost to motherfucking Fury. He made excuses when he lost to Parker. He made excuses when he lost to Zhang. He made excuses about fights not happening when clearly he the one said that he walked away. Otherwise, why would anybody want to see this fight? Now, if you sit up and say, don't nobody know who you are, what if, you say, oh, don't nobody know you. Now, by far, I wouldn't be clout chasing anyone. But if I'm trying to get my name up and out there, right, and I need a formidable opponent, isn't it obvious that I need to do this against someone with some respect of their name, right? So if you do this, and I'm saying shit about you in a derogatory way, you're saying shit about me in a derogatory way, then the fight basically is going to be the same lane. Oh, this nigga just trying to fucking get his name off Wilder. And then people going to be going, oh, Wilder fight this motherfucker, don't nobody know. Oh, this dude is a YouTuber, because they don't know what the fuck I can actually do. Like, I'm for real, I know what the fuck I can do. All right? And my job is to put it out to the world. Now, after we fight and I fuck Wilder up, you know what everybody going to say? Oh, shit. Yo, this motherfucker, I ain't know this nigga Aries could fight like that. That's exactly what will be said. But then you're going to have the other people going, oh man, Wilder watched her. Ain't no way in hell this motherfucker lost no YouTuber, man. But yet, Jake Paul is calling out motherfuckers 58 years old, 55 years old, way past their prime, not boxers, and look at where this motherfucker is right now. So, you see what I'm saying? No matter what you do, there's always someone that wants to try to bait you into something. And it's like, is it worth it or not? You only know come fight night. I'm going to close this video. This is part 1 about what boxing should and shouldn't be and where it is.